bro, Lord aka Mega Butts. In today's video, we're looking at Gouging Fire EX. Now, I thought Gouging Fire EX was pretty much dead after rotation when losing Magma Basin. Magma Basin was really a very strong card in that Gouging Fire toolbox deck in previous rotation, but it seems like it has survived. So let's look at that deck list. Already here at that deck list. First, starting us off with Gouging Fire EX, of course. Gouging Fire EX has that first attack, Heat Blast, for 2 energy for 60 damage, and then Blaze Blitz for double fire and a colorless energy, 260 damage. This Pokemon can't use Blaze Blitz again until it leaves the active spot. So, in previous rotation, you could play things like Switch cards and Jet Energies and Switches to get it in and out of the active spot so you can attack with Blaze Blitz again. However, we've lost that Switch card that also would heal some damage as well. So Switch card being rotated, we kind of had to change the list up a little bit. So we are playing 2 copies of Latias EX. Has that ability Skyline or base Pokemon in play have no retreat cost. So being able to retreat our Gouging Fire in and out of the active spot thanks to that Latias for free. It's pretty helpful. We're also playing Brute Bonnet in here to kind of get some extra damage and get some of those status condition kind of just rolling in the deck as well. Once during your turn, this Pokemon has an Ancient Boost Energy Capsule attached. You may make both active Pokemon poisoned with that ability Toxic Powder. So the thought is we have the Toxic Powder in play. We have also Perilous Jungle, the Stadium for 2 damage counters. During Pokemon Check, you put 2 more damage counters on each poison non-duck type Pokemon. So we're putting 3 total damage counters on it, plus Blaze Blitz for 260, plus we can Adrena Brain. So we're already at 290, plus Adrena Brain gets you to that 320 damage, which is pretty helpful, especially into things like Dragapult EX. Charizard isn't really as dominant right now, so we don't really need to worry about it. Plus, we're playing the Roaring Moon EX to get around those pesky Charizard EXs with its first attack, that Frenzy Gouging, knocked out your opponent's active Pokemon. If your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out in this way, this Pokemon does 200 damage to itself, and then has a second attack, Calamity Storm, for 100 plus, and it does 120 more damage if you discard a Stadium in play. We're also applying the Donk package, as I like to call it, with that Pecharunt and the Toxic Subjugation. As long as Pokemon's in the active spot, you put 5 more damage counters on your opponent's poison Pokemon during Pokemon checkup. So Brute Bonnet plus the Perilous Jungle plus Pecharunt, you are then able to put 8 damage counters on their Pokemon during Pokemon checkup in between turns. Playing double Squawk and 1 Fezandipiti EX for just kind of that draw consistency. We're also playing 1 Pecharunt to be able to have that Subjugating Chains ability, to be able to switch our Dark-type Pokemon up into play, and then retreat for free back into potentially our Gouging Fire or something to attack with Blaze Blitz again. We're playing the baby version of Gouging Fire as well. Very nice single prize attacker, Blazing Charge for 3 energy, 100 plus. This attack does 70 more damage if your opponent has 4 or fewer prize cards remaining. So hitting for 170, not too bad. Being able to kind of take some nice knockouts thanks to the help with that Toxic Powder and Perilous Jungle package. Also playing 4 Sodas, as this is like an ancient type style deck. I kind of like Gouging Fire toolbox or whatever. 2 Carmine, 2 Boss, 1 Kieran, 1 Iono, 4 Ultra Ball, 3 Energy Switch, 3 Nest Ball, 2 Pokegear, 2 Night Striker, 2 Earthen Vessel, 1 Pow Pad, 1 Switch, 3 Energy Boost Energy Capsules, 2 Perilous Jungles, 5 Fire Energy, 3 Dark Energy, and we're playing that 1 Secret Box for the Ace Spec of choice. It just felt like it fit the deck the best, being able to get that item, the tool, the supporter, in the stadium out as quickly as possible. Just really was able to kind of get the deck moving quickly. Now, let's jump right in to that game. Already here at that gameplay here at the coin flip. It is heads, so our opponent did get with the coin flip here, but we want to be going second pretty much just about any time, unless we're playing against a deck like Dragapult or maybe Goldango, where they only get 1 Pokemon in the active spot that has less than 80 HP, and then we can kind of just Pecharunt and donk it and kind of win the game that way. But we're starting off with Pecharunt in the active spot and that Roaring Moon EX. We see a Charcadet here for our opponent, so playing against maybe some Ceruledge Iron Hands or maybe just straight up Ceruledge. But our opponent knows exactly what's going on here. Get the Jamming Tower in play to slow down that donk. So we're going to have to bump the stadium to also get that donk off the Pecharunt. But our opponent going to have Ultra Ball plus Earthen Vessel and just discard a bunch of stuff. Carmine here going to discard the hand, draw a fresh 5. They still have access to that Squawkin' Seeds, getting 2 more Charcadets down plus a Nest Ball for maybe that 4th Charcadet. We're going to put down a Maracactus instead, however. Maybe just saying, hey, I will trap things at some point in time. I'm not sure. But our opponent going to Squawkin' Seas here. Going to Earthen Vessel as well. Pitch some more energy in the discard pile. Really just throwing a lot of energies into the discard pile, just like that Ceruledge deck wants to do. So we're going to kind of do something very similar. We're going to Ultra Ball, pitch the Kyurem and the Fire Energy, get down a Squawk, Pow Pad here, putting the Kyurem back in the deck, Perilous Jungle, plus Nest Ball, gonna get that Brute Bonnet in play, plus we have that Ancient Booster Energy Capsule as well, so we are gonna be able to potentially, actually not even potentially, we are gonna be able to take that knockout here on the Charcadet. But first, our Squawk and Seas, gonna throw down the Gouging Fire, plus the Nest Ball here, gonna get ourselves that Latias EX for that free retreating, and we're gonna have access to Energy Switch, Ultra Ball, Ancient Booster Energy Capsule, and that Dark Energy this turn. But first, we need to Toxic Powder, getting that Charcadet up to 8 damage counters here in between turns. We're going to take a prize card off of this, and that does not activate Fezandipiti EX either. So we're kind of in a pretty cool spot. We're already up a prize card. We're at a 5-6 split. They can't draw anything more off of Fezandipiti, and we're pretty much ready to go for the following turn. We have a lot of pieces here. We got the Roaring Moon. We got the Gouging Fire. We just need Sadas and maybe some Energy Acceleration, maybe some Draw Engine, and we will be good to go. But our opponent here is going to take a knockout on our Pecharunt, so we're going to be able to Ultra Ball for our Fezandipiti EX potentially here this turn to try to piece together a just Sada this turn. So we're going to Ultra Ball, pitch the Munkidori. We don't really need it in this matchup too much. It's kind of more for Dragapult and stuff like that. So we're going to get the Fezandipiti EX here. Fezandipiti is going to get the Flip the Script. But first, we're going to Night Stretcher, plus put the Capsule on the Gouging Fire. So attach the energy to the Gouging Fire. We're going to then Flip the Script, try to find a Sada. We get Secret Box, so that's going to be pretty solid here. But we're going to have to discard all 3 cards out of our hand. But as long as we grab the right cards, we will be fine. So we're going to grab Energy Switch, Sada, Jungle, and that Capsule here. So we're going to be able to go Sada, be able to attach the energies to our Gouging Fire and our Roaring Moon. Going to have Energy Switch in hand to move the Dark Energy to the Gouging Fire, and then we're going to be able to use that Toxic Powder. It's not going to activate on our Gouging Fire. Then we are going to Blaze Blitz for 260 damage. It's now going to take a knockout in between turns with that poison damage. Once again, this does not activate that Fezandipiti EX. So even if we didn't have Perilous Jungle, we're still hitting that nice good 270 damage, but we're still hitting 280 or 290 just in case if we need to, which is pretty helpful. So now we're in this pretty interesting situation where we are up 3 prize cards at a 3-5 split, but our opponent is going to really be able to take some knockouts pretty quickly here. So going to Professor's Research, discard their whole hand. Pow Pad going to come down here for Professor's Research, and Carmine putting them back in the deck. They're probably just trying to piece together another Charcadet or something. Abyssal Flames for only 250 damage, which is not what they wanted, but we're in an interesting situation. We need to actually retreat out of our Gouging Fire to be able to use that Blaze Blitz attack again. So we're just going to try to thin the deck just a little bit here. Going to try to maybe just do a little shenanigans. We're not really too sure. We could just Heat Blast potentially. Maybe even just use the Toxic Powder ability, then Heat Blast. I'm not really too sure. We're going to put the Capsule to the Roaring Moon, though. And I'm kind of thinking maybe a retreat. Is there anything I can do to get another energy in play? And I can't. So we're just going to Toxic Powder, get the 3 damage counters going on in between turns. We're going to lose this Gouging Fire if it uses another attack. But we'll get some chip damage in with that 60 plus the 30 more, so putting it at 90 damage. So the next turn, we can just attach the energy, Calamity Storm, take the knockout on the Ceruledge with our Roaring Moon, or maybe potentially our Baby Gouging Fire as well. But our Iono for our opponent here, gonna come down, get us a nice 3 cards in hand. We get Sada, Pokegear, and Ultra Ball. Our opponent just trying to piece together some more attackers here. Gonna get that Charcadet in the active spot. Gonna get a Fire Energy attached to it as well here. Abyssal Flames, going to take that huge knockout on our Gouging Fire EX. So we're just going to throw up the Fezandipiti as all of our Pokemon have free retreat. Thanks, Latias. Really appreciate that. And we're going to get the switch here, which is exactly what we're looking for to Blaze Blitz the turn before. But Ultra Ball here, we're going to just do that. Get rid of that switch and that Pokegear, and we're just going to try to find something here. Maybe the Baby Gouging Fire is probably fine. We're going to throw it down here just so we have a nice single prize attacker to try to kind of force our opponent to take some weird prizes here or something. We're going to just put 2 energies into play, but we're going to draw 3 cards. We're going to flip the script, draw 3 more cards here, and I'm like, all right, we're going to retreat. out of this into our Roaring Moon here. We're going to Calamity Storm, discarding our Perilous Jungle here. Going to do a nice 220 damage, taking that knockout on that Ceruledge EX. Now, this will activate Fezandipiti EX on their end if they can find it. We're just going to have to see. They might be able to take the knockout on our Roaring Moon as well. We're just going to kind of have to wait and see what's going on here. Night Stretch are going to grab themselves that Ceruledge EX, put that into their hand, evolve the Charcadet into Ceruledge. They need to get to 290 damage here. Earthen Vessel, pitch that Fire Energy to get 2 more energies out of the deck. I'm shocked they still even have energies in the deck. And they're going to have Research, so they're definitely going to be hitting for 290 damage. They got 15 energies in play. We're looking at 330 damage here. So 330 damage coming to the Roaring Moon, which is kind of crazy. So we're just going to throw up our Gouging Fire, our baby Gouging Fire. We do have Sadas, but we need another energy. We need to take a knockout here. We can't boss because we need to play Sadas this turn. So we have to take a knockout on that Ceruledge EX. So Sada going to come down here, putting the energies to the baby Gouging Fire in the Gouging Fire EX, trying to find Energy Switch. We need these pieces here. Ultra Ball gonna pitch our Munkidori and our Brute Bonnet just to thin the deck a little bit more. We have 2 Fire Energies in here, and we have Energy Switch in hand. We just need the energy, and we hit 2 Fire Energies off that Flip the Script, so attach the energy, then we're gonna be able to retreat. But first, Toxic Powder, putting those damage counters onto that Ceruledge. Gonna take an additional damage in between turns. Energy Switch, moving the Fire Energy from our baby Gouging Fire to the Gouging Fire EX. Blaze Blitz for 260 damage, but in between turns, you're gonna take another 10, putting you at 270 damage. Taking our last prize card to win the game. Really being able to showcase the pure speed and flexibility to keep up with some of the fastest decks in the format, especially one like Ceruledge EX. Now let's jump right in to that outro. All right, it's gonna draw for today's video. I'll make sure to put the deck list that I played in today's video in the description below, ready for copy paste into TCG Live. But if you guys are enjoying content I've been making so far on the channel, don't forget to leave a like, smash the subscribe button. I would appreciate it. We're on the road to 1K subs. So if you aren't subscribed, you might think you are, but do me a favor, scroll down and check, because if you're not, you should be. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it all for today's video. So I'll see you all in the next one. Peace!